Thank you. Okay, Laura, please introduce Shira, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you. I scrolled back. Shira and I were introduced in January. I didn't think it was that long ago, but uh, and um, and Marla said she wants some help with writing. So I thought, oh yeah, okay, cover letters, resume. Those of you who saw the introduction realize that Shira needs no help with cover letters or resume. So it turned out that she really wanted to get into creative writing. And she's brilliant, and look for her novel retelling the story of Ruth coming soon to a bookstore near you. I'm sure we'll keep you posted. I really have been just so impressed with the level of writing, and she's a writer. I mean, the story has her, and she moves forward. Just a couple of things that I mean, I learn a bunch, from working with any student, but Shira in particular. Just a couple of things, and today's events kind of make it relevant. In June, of course, there were a couple of weeks when we were unable to meet. And when we got together again, I said, how much time were you off work in the last couple of weeks? And she said, I worked overtime. Because what you don't realize behind all of these huge, horrible headlines is that somebody has to make sure that the people who can't come into work because the highways have been blown up need permission to work from home, and people whose homes have been blown up need somehow being relocated. And so Shira, while getting 4 kids to the fallout shelter at 3:15 in the morning, was then going to work and doing all of those things. So it's really been an amazing lesson in resilience, and also just again to say that this is a writer. Basically, she has 2 hours to herself every week on Friday. And so what she does is to think throughout the week. And then when she has the time, she produces this really brilliant story that I think what she's got going with the story of Ruth is that Ruth's story is really about what happens when you really have to decide what side you're on and where you belong. And so it's incredibly relevant. So that's just, I could go on, but it's Shira's talk. I will stop.
That's a great segue, Laura. So very honored, Shira, to welcome you to English Biachad and to let you share your story and the story of your community and some of the special customs and unique elements of being an Ethiopian Israeli and an Ethiopian Jew.
So thank you. I'm really excited to be here. And I think that I want to start with thanks. So thank you, Laura, for hearing me again and again. And thank you all, because I think that in these days specific, when there is so much people who suffer, and we are in 2 years of war, I think that it's very important to know that we have people like you that volunteer and care about us and thinking about us and standing with us. So it's a great honor for me to talk with you. And knowing that you volunteer with members of my community, I know that you are good people, and I think that we need those. We need people, and we need the goodness nowadays. So thank you. I want to start with that. I'm really excited. So I will start. So my name is Shira Shato, and I will start with the presentation. Can you see it?
Coming up, Shira.
Okay.
We're seeing the Zoom screen, not yet the presentation.
Just a second.
It's always exciting when technology works.
Yeah, it's just that I save it so many times, so I can't find the right place. So just a second.
Oh, we've all been there, Shira. We've all been there.
Some of us have trouble when we're trying to share screens with our students.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't share. Just a second.
If you want to send it to me, I can share it as well.
Yeah, I will send it to you. I don't know why I can't share. Just a second, it will be much easier. Okay.
I was at a presentation with hundreds of people in the audience and I was the speaker and the light bulb on the projector died as I started to talk.
No,
Okay, well, there you go.
good. I
Just
don't know what.
Just a second, Shira. It's not showing up.
Okay.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. I'm just gonna forward it to
Maybe I will open it in another computer.
sorry, Shira. I need to send it to myself by email in order for me to get it on the Zoom.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry. I found it. Okay. Can you
You're
see
okay?
it now? Can you see it?
It's starting. Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Yay.
I found it. Okay, thank you. So now the order is not correct, but I will fix it. So I will start with the name, sorry. Ethiopian Jews, but we call ourselves Beta Israel. And this is our favorite name. And later I will explain why it's so important, the name, okay? So this is my favorite picture. This is my parents. This is my father. He passed away 3 years ago. His name is Tuave, the best of all, and he was the best of all. And my mother, her name is Brchiko, which means a beautiful vessel. And you can see that it's described her correctly. And they were married for more than 75 years.
Wow.
And I think that I have the menu for that. Later on, I will explain it. They have 14 kids. My father had 3 kids from his previous marriage, and my mother had 1 kid from her previous marriage, and together they had 10 kids. But my mother and all my siblings, we all grew up together, so it's not that there is a distance. And I think that this give the meaning and the example of community, because when each family has like 10, 15, 14, 12 kids, and they build a village, you understand that meaning of community is tied more than just members of the same village. It's relative and it have a lot of meaning through life. Also, Ethiopia is an agriculture country, and most of the people grew up their food. So yeah, big families is something that is very important. This is a picture of some of my siblings, not all of them. In my daughter bat mitzvah. And here you can see 4 generations. This is my mother. You can see it. You can see okay, this is my mother. This is my sister. This is her child. And this is her son. So 4 generations in one picture. And I think that this symbolizes the meaning of growing up in a community, because you have the entire family they help each other, they gather together. My mother tells the story about Ethiopia. My kid ask her, although they don't understand Amharic, they will ask me, I will translate. But this is the meaning of being part of a big family. And this is my nuclear family.
Look at these.
And you can see I have 4 kids. I'm sure you say 4 kids, it's a lot, but comparing to my mother, I'm not there. So this is my nuclear family, and you can see that I married with Shlomi. He's not Ethiopian. His parents originally from Morocco. And you can see the gap between my parents, my older siblings, and myself, that you can see that the entire community is in change. So overview about this presentation, I will talk about the life cycle, family, marriage, birth, death. Then I will talk about the Buuna ceremony. Then I will talk about the holidays and comparing the holidays that you celebrate and the holidays that our community celebrate. And then I will talk about the immigration to Israel. I want you to think about these 4 main takeaways during the lecture. First of all, the community, the meaning of community, the importance of community. The second thing is the cultural capital. I think that when we talk about Ethiopian Jews, we usually talk about the struggles, we usually talk about the gap that exists, we usually talk about how they succeed to integrate, they didn't succeed to integrate, but I want you to think about the cultural and all the heritage and the history and all this fortune that we bring to the Israeli society. Then I want you to think about community in transition. You saw it, that my parents and my siblings, they married in the Ethiopian community. I did something else. My kids are something else. They are different because they grew up here. They have 2 different, not different, but 2 heritage and 2 histories that they are coming from. And the last thing is the next chapter. What is the duty of the next generation in building the entire Israeli society? So like I said, the family is the most important thing in the Ethiopian community, not just the Jewish community, but the entire Ethiopian community. It's very hierarchical family. The father has a very important part in making decision, in taking all the big decision, but the woman had also a very important rule, because they are carrying the stories, they help each other, they create the structure of the community that maintain the community united. Also, the elders they had a lot of respect in the Ethiopian community. They usually those who guide, those who lead the community, those who a mediator if there is a conflict, and they are also those who say what we can or can't do as a community in order to keep this community. And I want to mention that Ethiopia is a religious country. And in those days when my parents were in Ethiopia, it's a Christian, very religious Christian community. So keeping the Jewish identity in Ethiopia means that you have to put a very strong barriers in order to keep those the members inside the community. And also I want to compare, like in the Israeli society and in the Western world, the child is the center. He is the most important part of the family, but in the Ethiopian community, the elders are the most important. And I want you to think about this community. When they came to Israel, suddenly they hear that the older are the lost generation. We won't invest on the lost generation because we want to invest on the young generation. But it's the opposite think, or it's totally against the heritage of this community and what it creates in trying to integrate to a new society. When you bring with you a totally a different way of life and totally different perspective about life, and now somebody tell you whatever you brought with you, put aside, and this is the way you have to deal with, to handle with. So think about what it's create inside the families, that the elders had a very important role in Ethiopia, and suddenly here in Israel, they are not relevant. And this is one of the main things that we have to remember or to understand when we're talking about a community in transition. This is the wedding of my sister. She didn't allow me to put the picture, but I put it. So marriage in Ethiopia are arranged. And this is the secret I told you, that my parents were married for more than 75 years, because the entire understanding of marriage is different. It's not like just love. You fall in love later, but first there is a contract, and it's not like cynical. It's in the deep meaning of that, because you build part of the community and you have a duty in building the community. So you will do whatever you can in order to keep the family. And I think that it starts with friendship, and with it also the families make sure that the couple, that they have similar things and stuff like that. And also there is a very important thing in the Ethiopian community, that we check that the couples are not relative, and we go back 7 generations. So in Ethiopia, it was very easy because each village was a family. So you know that this village is the family of, I don't know, this person, and this village is the family of that person, and we can count backward, and we know that they are not relatives. It's okay. What happened when these young came to Israel, and a lot of young kids, when they arrived to Israel, they were sent to a boarding school, and there they meet each other, they fall in love, they go back to their parents, and suddenly when the parents try to figure out if they are relatives, there is a 5 generation gap or 4 generation gap. In some families, it's like kind of taboo that in the beginning parents didn't attend to the wedding of their kids, because they were relative in the gap was of 5 generation. And part of it is, I think in the beginning of it was to make sure that you will be a healthy community, and there is no disease between the couples. But after that, it became a heritage, a very hard heritage, and nobody want to break the heritage. And suddenly, when these people move to Israel, and the kids bring a boyfriend, a girlfriend, the parents deal with a huge problem, because they have the way of life and the way of thinking of their parents, and the tradition, the Ethiopian tradition, and suddenly they have to adjust to the Israeli tradition. So that creates a lot of tension inside the families, because the young generation said, listen, we are not in Ethiopia. Things change, and we want to go forward. So this is a very important, and also something that is very, there is now like arrival confirmation to the wedding. You invite the family, you don't know how many will come. When I married Shlomi, and he asked me, okay, how many guests are going to come? I said, I don't know. Maybe 200, maybe 500. And this is something you have to understand, because In Ethiopia, the wedding was also a gathering of the community. This was the opportunity to celebrate. This was the opportunity to feed those that didn't have money, they were poor. So this is what, so you just say, my daughter is going to get married, you are welcome. And if he came, then you are welcome. If he didn't succeed to come, he will come later. But in Israel, it's totally different because you have the place that you want to get married, you have to do the reservation, and it also creates tension, but it's a funny thing. I look at it as something that it's a little bit funny because this is the changing that we experience. So birth took place at the home where people didn't go to the hospital. Usually the mother, like a couple weeks before she get birth, she go to her mother and she get the support of the woman in her family. And after she get birth, she is impure, so she temporarily isolated with the baby. And if it's a baby boy, it's for 40 days. If it's a baby girl, it's for 80 days. And also a very unique thing in the Ethiopian community, those who did the Brit Milah, it can be a male or female. It's according to your knowledge and according to your skills. And usually women could do the Brit Milah, the circumcision, okay? So it's also something very important. And also the woman's circle and the woman's support was very essential. Women in Ethiopia work very hard. They could work, usually they work at the field, and then they came back and work and cook for the family. And when I say cook, it's the entire process. It's not that you have the dough or you have, I don't know, the ingredients from the refrigerator and that's it. You do the entire process. And I think that during those times, that was I will say the only time that she was allowed to take a break. So the entire community or the entire woman support her. They took care of the other kids if there is other kids. They took care of the husband in order to give the woman the time to recover and to heal from this. From the birth, and to make sure that she will return to the community when she is strong enough and have the entire power to continue with her task. And also, this was the part that the older woman guide if there is a new mother, they guide her, they give her the advices, they will give her, you know, all she needed in order to recover and in order to make sure that she have all the tools to take care of her family. So like I told you, this is my father. When a member of the family died, the entire community fast in this day until the burial of that person. And part of it is because we're saying that a member of our family is not with us, and until he has the final rest, we can continue with life. So that's the reason we are fasting. And also the person who carry the body until burial, they are also in Ethiopia, they are impure. So in the Jewish tradition, usually when you carry the body, you honor the person, you give him respect. But in the Ethiopian community, if you touch the body, you are impure and you have to isolate yourself from the entire community. So in Ethiopia, usually those people, they had the duty, they spent 7 days out outside of the village, and after that they return. But when we arrive to Israel, you don't have a place that you can isolate yourself for 7 days until you can return to the community. And this creates a tension because, you know, the other people ask themselves why they don't carry their members of the family, why they don't honor him. But it's a different way of thinking and a different way of respecting. And if you don't understand that, you don't understand the deep meaning of the ritual, the different rituals. And this nowadays there is a lot of solution that the religious authority gives to the Ethiopian community, but in the beginning it was like people didn't understand this community, why they don't. So this is a part of the differences that exist in the community. Also, the family of the member that died, they wear the netela. The netela is the fabric, the white fabric that usually you see the women's wear. I will show you just a second. This fabric, okay, you can see it. So the family wear it upside down. And why is that? Because their entire world, just with the die of this, of the member of their family, their entire world changed. And also it symbolized to the entire people who gather and come to confer them that they are the families and they should come and they are the members of the family. Okay, so that's
Okay, Google, what's the definition of remediate?
Here's the definition.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
so the thing is that I want to show you how this community is very sensitive. You don't have to ask who are the members of the family. You just see it right away according to the dress code of this family. And I think there is a lot of other things that you can see the sensitivity of these people. So we talk about the Buuna ceremony. The Buuna ceremony, it's a ritual that usually took place twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. The entire ceremony is an opportunity, I think, to create a conversation, to solve conflict, to get the news from the families, from what's happening. And the entire ceremony, it's in a very slow mood. You don't rush when you drink coffee. You take the time. And part of it is because you want to give the guest, or you want to give those who have the announcement, you want to give him the time to be ready to speak, to talk about the conflict, to bring the announcement. And the entire ritual is you do everything. You wash the coffee beans, you roasting the coffee beans, you grinding the coffee beans, and you brewing the ground coffee, and then you serve it in 3 rounds. And they have names. The first is a very strong round. Those who don't drink, who usually drink a coffee, it's a very strong and intense one. And part of it is to say that it's something that we want to make sure that you have the entire taste of the coffee. The second is the tona, and the last one is bereka, which means blessing. And the entire ceremony is about blessing. You start with blessing the host by saying that you, when you roasting the coffee beans, and so you say that I wish the guest, they will say that I wish you the entire fortune and health and everything. You bless the host, and in the end, the host bless the guest that arrived. And during the ceremony, you create the opportunity to talk. You create the opportunity to build and to bring the story. If you want to maintain the heritage, this is the time that the parents will talk about different things that happened. And I think that if I take it to my private family, usually I do it in Motzei Shabbat, and this is very important because I think this is the time that they see their heritage in a practical way, my kids, and also they understand that they have to be patient and they don't rush and they don't interrupt during the entire ceremony. And I think that there is a lot of values that came with this ceremony, and it's not just drinking a coffee. It's also bringing a lot of teaching, not by talking, by showing. And it's something that's very important in this family, in this community. I think that a lot of the learning, the teaching is by giving an example, by doing that, but by telling your kids to continue and by practicing it, not by telling you, not by giving you a lecture, but by practicing it. And I think that also this ceremony has this this sense. So the holidays are very important in the Ethiopian community. We celebrate the entire holidays like the entire the Israelis, the Jewish in the entire world, but there was a few things that are different. For example, Hanukkah we didn't celebrate because when we left Israel, when we left the land of the Holy Land, it was a lot before this event, so we didn't know about that, and we didn't celebrate. The second thing is Purim. We had the fast. We fast Tanit Esther, but we don't celebrate Purim. Okay, and and one significant holiday that we preserve from the days of Ezra and Nehemiah is the Sigd. The Sigd was a holiday that Ezra and Nehemiah, after they returned from Babylon, they found that the people who returned from Babylon, their Jewish identity and they missed Babylon and they want to return, and they understand that in order to create a strong community, they have to create a kind of holiday, kind of Memorial Day, in order to make sure that they understand what is their heritage, what is their history, and they create the Sigd. It was they count 50 days from Yom Kippur, and during the Sigd they called they go to the Aseret HaDivrot. They call the 10
Commandments.
And also they read and they create a prayer that united and give the understanding to the people what is the Jewish identity, and give them all they need in order to create the sense of community. And the Ethiopian Jews took this not just as a religious day. It was also a day that was dedicated to building the community. In these days, the entire community, they claim to a mountain, and they declare that they are part of the Jewish community. And it's to separate themselves from the Christians that live next to them. So this is a day of declaration that I am part of the Jewish community. It's also a day that you try to help each other. The morning until noon, it's a fast day, and you pray in order to get to Jerusalem, and in order that the entire community will be safe. And part of the day is a celebration. And the sense of community is by celebrating together. Everybody bring whatever they had. It was the day that there is no difference between rich and poor. Everybody bring their food and they eat together. This is the day that if there is an argument, if there is a conflict between the members of the community, they try to solve it. If there is a problem, if we have to collect money in order to help this community or these families, this is the day. And also this is a day that the rabbinical used to pray that next year we will be in Jerusalem. So it was a very important holiday that give the sense of your identity as a Jewish and your identity as a member of the community. So when we arrived to Israel, there was a big argument if to continue to celebrate the Sigd, because we arrived to the Holy Land, and the wisdom of the guests, they decide to continue to celebrate, because they said that we succeed to arrive physically, but we didn't arrive spirituality. And I think it's a very smart thing to say. And in nowadays, I think it's so important, because the meaning of this day is how you build a community. And I ask myself after 7 October and during these 2 years, how we can build a community and how we build my society after all we have been through. And there is a lot of tension between different groups, and there is a lot of argument between different groups in the Israeli society. And I think that the answer is the Sigd, because the Sigd is creating or thinking about something that is above of the individual, and creating something that help you to understand that it's not just you are part of something. And in order to build something, you have to be to give to make sure that there is a structure that hold it in one hand, but in the other hand, to understand that there is something that is so important that you have to give on your. You don't have to be so stubborn in your thoughts, in your arguments. And in nowadays, I think that we need this. We need this in our lives. The other day is the Memorial Day for 4,000 members of the Ethiopian Jews that died on the way from Ethiopia to Sudan. And this day, we mention it in the Yom Yerushalayim. And that's because this community prayer and were willing to sacrifice in order to get to Jerusalem. So the way we the day that we mention those we lost is the same day. The immigration to Israel. So the first time that members of the Ethiopian community tried to immigrate to Israel was in 1862. Abba Mahari was a monk, and he has a vision that he will succeed to bring the community to Israel. And he was very charismatic, and he succeeded to gather a lot of people around him. And he started the journey from the area of Gondar, which is the center of Ethiopia, through the north of Ethiopia, and to cross the border to Sudan and from there to Israel. And he failed. But in the Ethiopian community, nobody say that he's a false prophet. What we say that we weren't deserved. The time this wasn't the time. And I think it's very, very beautiful way of putting it. It's not that you blame someone else that you didn't succeed. You just say it wasn't the right time. And this journey of Abba Mahari is a journey that everybody mentioned to say that if you want to fulfill a dream, you have to make sure that you are willing to take to take the prize, and you are willing to sacrifice. And I think it's also a very beautiful way of thinking and a very different way of thinking. So Abba Mahari was the first person that tried to came to Israel. In 1955, there was a 25 young people who arrived to Kfar Batia. They came in the order of Haile Selassie. He sent them to Israel in order to learn about agriculture and to come back to Ethiopia and to teach their community how to become a better agriculture. But those people, or those young people, they were in their 14 when they arrived to Israel. When they returned to Ethiopia, they were the leaders. They were those people who said that the Holy Land or Jerusalem, it's not a fiction. It's not something that you imagine or somebody told you about. It's a real thing. And I think that they put the seeds to the big immigration, the big wave that came in 1979. In 1979, during the 70s, there was a conflict in Ethiopia. There was a civil war in Ethiopia. And in those days, a lot of people immigrate from Ethiopia through Sudan to different countries. And also young Jewish did the same journey. And when they succeed to do that, they go back to their families in order to say the open to Jerusalem, the way to Jerusalem is open, and a lot of people start to immigrate. And I call it the first wave and not Operation Moses, because the entire immigration to Israel was from 1979 to 1985, and Operation Moses was between November 1984 to January 1985. And when you call it operation, you give all the glory to the state of Israel. And it's not that I'm saying that they are not deserving, because they did a lot. But those people, my community, they started because they were willing to risk themselves and their families, and they start the journey from Ethiopia to Sudan in order to fulfill this dream, and they were willing to spend time in Sudan, in Muslim country, in order to come to Israel. And I think when you call it operation, you don't give the attention to the part of the community in coming to Israel. So this is something that is very important. In 1991, Mengistu Haile Mariam he was the prime minister in Ethiopia, and his regime was in danger, and he just by his freedom, by allowing the state of Israel to had aircraft from Addis Ababa to Israel. So during 3 days, they succeed to bring 14,000 Ethiopian Jew to Israel. In 1992 to 1993, there was another group of Ethiopian in Quora. It was a very isolated part in Ethiopia. The Jews was isolated from the rest of the Ethiopian Jewish, and they arrived during this time. And the Falashmura start to come. I want to explain what is the Falashmura. Falashmura was people that during the years convert to Christianity, and they want to come back to Judaism, and there is a big conflict inside the Ethiopian community. I can say that my father said that they shouldn't come to Israel, because when the time was hard, they choose not to be Jewish, and now when it's become easy, they want to return to Judaism. So there is a big issue with the Falashmura. Falasha, it's the way that the Christian call the Jewish in Ethiopia. Falasha means stranger, and Falashmura is a stranger that convert to Christianity. So this group was a unique group. They weren't Jewish, they weren't Christian, they were something in between, and it's something that nowadays it's, there are more acceptance, but in the beginning there was a lot of tension between Beta Israel and the Falashmura. So like I said, I think that in this lecture I try to give you the sense of community and what is the meaning of being a member of the community. I want to say that I was in a memorial of a relative of mine. He passed away 4 years ago, and I went there with my mother, and the entire community in Migdal HaEmek came to honor him. And they didn't just came to honor him, they helped to cook the food before, they helped to fix everything before. And this is part of being a member of a community, that in your happiness, in the day you struggle, there is someone who come and help you, because it's a duty that today I help you, tomorrow you will help me. And I think this is a very strong structure that is very it's very unique to this community. And I think that's one of the things that my parents really want me to keep, and I want to create to my kids. But for me, it's much difficult than my parents, because my parents choose to live among other Ethiopian Jews, and I live in Jerusalem as an individual, and this is the price that we pay as individuals. The second thing is that there is a lot, and I shrink the lecture in order to succeed to do it in 1 hour, but there is a lot of ceremonies. There is a lot of cultural thing that you don't speak, you just show it, you just act, and people understand you. And I think it's a very, very smart way to teach. I can see that in my family, nobody say, okay, you have to help and clean, I don't know, clean the dishes. Just somebody get up and start to organize, and everybody continue with that. And I think that there is a lot of beautiful things that I want to give to my kids. I'm not sure I'm doing a good job, but I take from my parents. I think that the things that this community, the gap between the way of life in Ethiopia and the way of life in Israel is huge. And if you don't understand what these people had to through by the trying to adjust to the Israeli society, you don't understand how, like, people, when they see me, they say, I don't understand why you seem like similar, you succeed so much, why are you talking about? And I say, you don't know how many miles I run in order to get to the first line and to stand with you. And I'm tired because I run so much, and now I have to continue in order to make sure that I keep I continue. And I think this is something that a lot of people don't understand, that the gap that exists, and I don't say if it's good or not or bad. Just the gap that exists is very huge, and if you don't understand that, you can't help those people to succeed. And I say that I'm very optimistic about the next generation, because I think that they have great tools, and I think that they have a lot of I will try to okay. I think that they have a lot of tools, and they have a lot of things to be proud of. And I think that this community also, when people ask me, I say that this community, every 4 or 5 years, there is a demonstration. So they know a lot of being active. And I can see that during the years, the something changed. In the beginning, it was, I want that my brother and sister will come to Israel. The next demonstration was, I want you to understand that I'm a Jewish and I'm part of the Jewish community. The next generation, the demonstration, or the last demonstration that was in 2015, was to say, I'm part of the Israeli society, and I don't care if you like it or not, but I put a mirror in front of the Israeli society in order to fix you. And I think this is, if I look about the difference between the generation, is the bold. The young generation, they are bold. They are willing to say everything in front. They became Israelis. They are Israelis. So they say everything like in your face. But I think it's also show that they are very proud of who they are, and they are willing to learn about their heritage, about their history, about their culture, and they create something new. And
Wow.
I really hope that when people will see my kids, they will see, because my kids, they have like 2 heritage that they carry with them. And I want that my kids and other kids will have the opportunity to choose between all these fortune that arrived, with all the people that arrived from all over the world, in order to create a better Israeli society. So that's it. And thank you.
Shira, that was beautiful. We have some questions. Some came in the chat, and there might be some people putting their hands up. So I'm going to just start with a couple of the questions that came through the chat. Is that okay? Do you have a few more minutes for us?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. So one of our tutors asked, did your marriage, since you married outside the Ethiopian community, did it cause tensions within your family?
Yeah, it's a very funny story. My father, when I came to tell him that I want to bring my boyfriend, because I don't bring my boyfriend unless I have a very meaningful tension, he asked me the son of whom he is, and I told him, you don't know. And he said, if I don't know, your mother will she will know for sure, because she know everybody. And I say, no, she won't know. So he say, okay, you went out. And yeah, because I think that it's part of make sure that I will get married with the right person. And they have my parents and my father, he want to make sure that the person I want to get married, he's a good person, he had a good family. And if it's not a member of the community, he don't have the way to make sure that. So I think it's a protective way of thinking of a father. But yeah, it was there was a lot of it wasn't a tension, like it was it wasn't common. I'm the first in my family that married out of the community.
Fantastic. And what Sue asked, could you give us an example of the kind of conflict that might come up in a discussion or someone would want to bring up in a discussion with the family during a Buuna ceremony? Like what?
It can be anything. It can be a news that you want to bring, like I want to get married, and it can be like, I don't know, I don't want to say something else, but I want to tell you what happened to I don't know what or it can be also I want to ask you, like for example, I have a problem with my youngest son and I don't know what to do because he's not doing well at school, and everybody that sit there will give you advice and you will choose if you want to take you don't you, and sometimes they will give you the advice before you ask. So it depends on the way that if like in my family, everybody give you advice before you ask. So that's the way.
That sounds very Jewish.
Yeah.
Ora asks, is the younger generation learning Amharic? Like, are your children learning? How is that part of who you are being transmitted?
So I will say that I will take myself. I don't speak with my kids in Amharic, but when they came to my mother, she speak in Amharic and they understand her. There is a lot of young people after the big demonstration that was in 2015. There was a lot of classes that opened because there was a demand of young people in their 20, their 30, in order that they want to learn. And also now with all the AI, like my niece, she spent with my mother like 3 weeks because we didn't have help with my mother, and like she had the Google translation, so she said something in Hebrew and then she give her to listen. So there is a lot of way to communicate, and also the invention of the WhatsApp, it create like wow. My mother each morning, she record herself blessing the entire family, give us like, and I think that there is a lot of tools that give those the old generation the opportunity to be part of the conversation, and there is a lot of way to translate and to make sure that we keep in the contact and we tied the relationship. And it's a beautiful thing to see that my mother, she say, I didn't hear you.
Well, Shira, we've reached our hour. There's probably so much more we could learn from you. I think we just scratched the surface, as we say in English, but you gave us so much insight, both personal and community. And I thank you so much for taking the time in your incredibly busy life to prepare and present to us. We're deeply deeply grateful. And
thank you. And I want to say that it's really it's I think it's in nowadays it's so exciting, and it's so important to see that we keep the connection. And I think this is the answer to all the bad news that we hear. And I really want to thank you that you take the time and volunteer with members of the Ethiopian community. And I hope that you will come and you will meet and you will smell and you will test the culture and not just listen.
thank you, Shira.
Thank
Everybody
you.
in the chat said thank you, thank you, thank you. So we thank you. So go home, work on your novel, take care of your children, and thank you again.
Thank you.
בהצלחה. ביי.
תודה רבה. להתראות.
להתראות.